All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome.
Wow.
Wow. What a
Who
game.
day?
Good day. Bengals.
What a
Uh,
win.
yeah. I
Three and
mean,
one.
look, 3-1, primetime win,
Yeah.
comeback win,
Number one in our division win.
which is crazy because they are finally worthy of the number one Bengals podcast, which is our show. You can
Right.
subscribe on iTunes, Scratchify, Snitchify, all those
Yeah.
things. Leave a 5-star review. But yeah, I mean, look, Hoji, here's the thing. So I'm watching the game, Bengals fall behind, and it's like, oh no, again, prime
Yeah.
time. Zach
Yeah. I
Taylor's play
lost
calling
hope
is
too.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like they want to honor all these greats. Like this is gonna look so bad.
Yeah. It's
Like,
embarrassing.
and then do you know what happened?
There's a comeback. Second
Joe
half.
Burrow happened.
Joe
It
Burrow
was
happened.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, Joe Burrow. Okay, hold on. Let me just let's let's just pause for a second.
Yeah. Put the
Joe
pause on
Burrow.
it. Yeah. Joe
Yeah.
Burrow.
Joe Burrow. Okay. This guy had a QB rating of hold on. 132.8
That's a lot.
in prime time. A
Yeah.
Cincinnati Bengal quarterback. He threw for 348 yards, 2 touchdowns to CJ Uzama, a
Right.
guy coming off an Achilles injury. And here's the thing. How often do you remember a Bengals quarterback, okay, lighting up a defense in prime time, going to like his fourth or fifth option? You know who
I mean,
that reminds me of?
we haven't had this for a long time.
We haven't, I don't know if we've ever had that, but I mean, a guy that can do
Boomer.
that, well, it reminds me of, and I hate to say it, is Peyton Manning.
Oh, I see.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
when someone is that cerebral and is smart
Right.
with how they
Yes.
can manipulate the
Yeah.
defense, they find new, they create new playmakers.
Okay.
They
So,
turn
so, so
guys into,
stop there. Stop there
yeah.
because that brings up the question that I'm wondering. So first half looks horrible. Okay, can't and the most shall we say disappointing thing about the first half is the running game. I mean everything's disappointing, but the running game. They can't move the ball even like 5 yards. And there's also the defense is good but not great. They weren't showing the normal, stonewall that they had been. And there were a lot of times when they should have stopped the ball. They didn't. That's fine. But so here's my question. They go into the locker room say in halftime. What changes? Is it the case that the first half is Zach Taylor calling the plays and the second half is Joe Burrow calling the offensive plays? I don't think so. That can't be.
Well, I mean, I don't know exactly who is calling what, but let us go to that huge play, that big gain to CJ Uzama, setting up the game-winning field goal by a
Okay, so
rookie kicker.
that was an option, right? That was a
Well,
change.
hold on. Did you see the clip? Go look at the clip.
I did.
CJ Uzama was supposed to do a pick. I
Yeah.
heard Baldy talking about it.
Baldy,
He
yeah.
was just doing a pick.
Yeah.
And Joe Burrow is like, hey, go over
He
there.
waves him. He waves him.
Hey,
Like,
go
go,
over there.
go,
Go over
go.
there.
Go.
Yeah.
Get out
And
of here.
he
Get the ball.
directs. Yeah. And he gets him over there in the position and he gets a huge gain. And they send up. I mean, that was very
touchdown.
clearly Joe Burrow. Yeah. And I mean, here's the thing. You can call good plays, bad plays, whatever. But when you have someone with that kind of placement, I was listening to Colin Cowherd talking
Yeah.
about Joe Burrow today. And he was like, this guy reminds me of Joe Montana with
He
his
does.
accuracy,
Yeah.
with his leadership, with the touch on the ball. I mean, he said he made a very good point about Joe Burrow, and I agree. He said, look, Joe Burrow, he has just enough athleticism. He has just enough of an arm where he's not over reliant on those things. He said, like,
Right.
he doesn't have a crazy arm, like, let's say, a Brett Favre, where that harms him, where he's trying to force the ball. He doesn't have, crazy legs where he can just do whatever he wants with his legs, like a Mike Vick, who didn't develop as much early in his career because he relied on his playmaking, his running ability. So, I mean, it's a good point. I mean, the guy just understands football. Yeah.
Right. But back to my question, what changed? Because I mean, like Joe Burrow is not orchestrating the offensive line. How is it all of a sudden the second half that Mixon can run the ball again? And how is it all of a sudden in the second half that the defense is making those stops? I think here's the thing. A win is a win. And if you're going to give Zach Taylor credit for, or you're going to blame him for the losses, you got to give him credit for the win. But this team has something going on. It's got a problem. And I'd like to know what it is, because I think it's remediable. I think we can remedy it. But I kind of want to know what's going on with that. Like, what happened in the first half? Why were things so bad? Why couldn't they run the ball at all? Because that was the real question.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think. Well, I think one thing they pointed out was they did a lot of empty sets, which allows Joe Burrow the kind of allows him to pick apart the defense, which is what he's really good at.
Okay.
So yeah, and so I think maybe the Jaguars playing from ahead weren't as aggressive. Maybe trying to hold on to the lead. There's a lot of different things, and also look, that lead that they got, a lot of weird plays happen. I mean, Trevor Lawrence getting a rushing touchdown, rushing for a lot.
Well,
Some unexpected guys making big plays.
Well, yes, but you're looking at the other way. Before the half was over, they were supposed to be 21. They were close to the end zone.
That's true.
And so I mean, it was clearly things flipped.
I think it's
clearly
I think
things
it is
flipped.
Well, I think what happened is you saw great players stepping up, and one of them is Joe Burrow, another one is Tyler Boyd, who made some brilliant route running, and another one, is like you said, our defense was without, like a lot of people pointing out, was without Jesse Bates, was without Chidobe Awuzie.
Yeah.
But we still have a Trey Hendrickson, we still have a Logan Wilson. We have so many guys now who can hold it down.
So I'm gonna categorize your statement under the "they were tired" theory. They were tired. They had just played on Sunday.
I think
and today is Thursday. They didn't have, they needed 2 more days of rest. They were tired. Second half comes up. Zach Taylor gets on a shoebox. He gives some speech. Everybody gets pumped up.
And then Joe Burrow comes and he corrects the speech. That is my theory. He comes and he says,
I don't buy that. I don't buy that.
You're trying to give Zach Taylor credit.
I think it is Zach. I do think Zach. Yeah. Actually, I think.
But Zach, I do think they believe in his vision. I do think that the players on the team, first of all, they're a team. That's the one thing I noticed. They do love each other. They love each other. Yeah. I mean, you look at, there's the highlight when that backup receiver caught a catch and everybody kind of came and surrounded him.
Right.
I mean, they do like each other and they love football.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and he has created a good vibe. That side. My sense is that if I had to guess what changes in the half, is that Zach Taylor is smarter than we give him credit for. And he is really changing the game halfway in there, because this is not the first time the Bengals, looked better toward the end. Even in our one loss, the Bengals were able to score toward the end. So something's happening. I'd like to know what it is, because let's face it. If you come playing like this against the Packers, it ain't gonna work. If you come playing like this against the Chiefs, if you come playing like this against the, we're talking, because the goal is the playoffs. The goal is to win the playoffs. If you come playing like this against the big boys, the Jags are not the big boys.
Well,
the
Jags
I don't know. They're learning how to walk.
Well, first of all, just want to acknowledge Hakeem Olajuwon is now watching this.
Oh, he's back. So, I love that, man. Yeah. I love Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem, I salute you. Thank you for watching the show. And thank you for using this picture of a man who's clearly not Hakeem Olajuwon.
Probably a fan.
Probably a fan of Hakeem Olajuwon, which just shows us what a sweetheart you are, Hakeem.
Really? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, look, Joe Burrow, the last 2 weeks, he has a 91.9 grade in Pro Football Focus. The man is on fire.
Yeah.
And he is, it was noticeable, the struggles early in the season. Even that first game against the Vikings, he wasn't himself. The Bears game, obviously, he wasn't himself.
Yeah.
And he looks to be getting healthier. I like the way he moved this game.
I do too.
He was more comfortable maneuvering, manipulating the pocket.
Well, let's talk about. Everybody talk about Azuma. Azuma, great.
Yeah.
Chase has, it's continued to be good. Boyd is the star, but let's give some credit to good old Joe Mixon. Because
Yeah.
you know what? I tell you what, a lot of people were like, that $12 million that we spent on Joe Mixon was a waste. Well, I don't know. Joe Mixon looked really good in the second half. And
Yeah.
being able to run is so important. This new NFL offense where no one cares about running, I find it frustrating. Okay.
Well, it's
Because you got to have a good running game. Otherwise, everybody knows what you're doing every down. And you can't just keep passing.
well. I mean, it's not really like that. It is more like, you you can't force the run. The offensive line has to be in a groove, and a lot of times you get there by getting the
Right.
pass game going. So it's a little
Okay.
different. You don't establish the run,
No.
but when you are ahead, when you are in the position to run, that is when the running is effective. So
Okay.
so the good teams, they get ahead, and then their rushing stats look impressive. But if they just try to get ahead running the ball, maybe it doesn't work.
Right. And
But
speaking of that, let's give Zach more credit.
yeah,
That this was a close game. It was a nail biter, and Zach managed the clock beautifully at the end. I think someone tweeted that. I can't remember who. I can't remember who. But Zach managed the clock beautifully, holding onto the ball for like the team held it for like 5 minutes. It was really nice. The Jags thought they were going to get the ball back. They did not. Right. And Evan McPherson, doink, does his what he does best. I love Evan
yeah.
McPherson. I'm a huge Evan
I do
McPherson.
too. I mean, he missed it was weird. It was like everything was going wrong in the first half. He even missed
Right.
a field goal. I mean, we
Yeah.
don't expect him to miss a field goal.
Well, that's bad mojo. That's that you can't do
Yeah.
anything about bad mojo. Well, I mean, other than the stuff I do, which they don't bring me in for.
Yeah. But I mean, look, we were missing Chidobe, we were missing Jesse Bates, but how about
Right.
Eli Apple, who had a
Yeah.
coverage grade of AD.9, the
It's weird
highest
because
in
I
the
wanted to get
team?
rid of that guy. It was like, why? Who is
Yeah.
this Eli Apple? He's screwing up. But yeah,
You
he did
you
his job.
you messaged me. You wanted to get rid of the whole team at halftime.
I did. I did.
You
I
said
was despondent. I had given up.
you yeah. You
I
wanted
s-
to exile them from Cincinnati. I said that's not the thing. You don't exile people anymore. But
yeah.
but that was your take. And look, it's fair. Look, a lot of Bengals fans, you have that right because the Bengals have not been good to us for a
No,
long time. But this, I want to be very clear. This is a different Bengals team. Down at the half in prime time
I
and
know.
come back like that. I
Yeah.
mean, and I'm sorry. Look, Zach Taylor, great. Joe Mixon, great. All these guys, great. Tyler Boyd, it's Joe Burrow.
It
It's
is
it's
Joe
it's
Burrow.
it is mostly Joe Burrow.
Yeah, it is
I
mostly Joe
mean,
Burrow.
because of the centrality of the quarterback position and the charisma of a Joe Burrow. I mean,
Yeah.
we will underestimate the value of charisma.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
some of
Oh,
the greatest
wait a minute.
figures in history,
Oh no.
the most powerful people who have
Oh.
have who have they've overpowered the senses
Oh.
of weaker individuals,
Oh no.
have used their charisma, and
Now
and, and
you
that is
you
what.
got you slipped into dictator language again, Dadio.
Yeah,
And we don't need a dictator. I mean, he's a benevolent leader,
yeah,
Joe Burrow. I watched. For me as an older person, I'm always amazed that he's got this cute little baby angelic face, but he
yeah,
talks like he's very strong in the locker room. And I saw this clip of him inspiring his friends using the S word, the SH word, and I was like, "You go, very powerful stuff."
yeah.
And I think so. I think he is our Tom Brady. He brings the X factor. He brings with the X factor being he inspires people and makes them believe that
Mhm.
they can win.
Yeah. I mean, like so many people have had. I mean, you had so many people that make sacrifices throughout history because they believed in the mission or the
Yeah,
purpose of a powerful figure. So, look, I'm excited. We're going to have obviously a lot of time off because the Bengals played on Thursday,
right.
but I'm really excited for the rest of the season, and I hope you are too. So please remember to subscribe
Subscribe.
to the Number One Bengals
Number
podcast,
one next one.
5-star review.
5-0.
And if you do like the show and you want to help us, look, I have my new mic. Hodgie doesn't have his yet.
No,
But
that's
if you
why I
want to help
sound
us
so
get the
bad.
show, yeah. And just go to patreon.com/DH Sports and you can help us get our mics faster. That
Yeah.
is all we have for this show. For Dr. Hodgie, Dr. Kismoji, I'm Daddy McDuke. We'll see you next
Namaste.
time. So long.
Sweetie bye.
SVT.
Pies.
Peace.
Pies.